Hey guys. So, today is the day. It's the day I decided to just start yapping, right? Because I have tried some of the other things, just, posting pictures, videos, but, I think it's time. So I'm just going to start yapping and I hope this is helpful for some of y'all. And I'm realizing that this whole coaching thing, right? First and foremost, I've been a psychotherapist, right? Worked to go through school, all this, and I love conducting therapy, I really do. And at the same time, I'm realizing it's a bit limiting, right? As far as who I can help, all of these types of things. And so I wanted to create a space for women like you where they can really develop and evolve into the best versions of themselves, right? And not just the best version of themselves, but also the version of themselves that I know is already in there, but throughout maybe childhood and society and all these different experiences you've had, it's been stuffed down, buried, and covered and covered and covered, right? And so I built Lucky Lady Coaching as a space that I hope women will find to be able to gather together and do this deep work that some people are talking about, but I also feel like sometimes they talk about it in a way that is maybe all energetics and all of the woo-woo stuff, which I love the woo-woo stuff, y'all know that I like that, and it is such a big part of it. And at the same time, there are also these practical strategies that I know we need to take into account if we want this fully embodied, balanced version of feminine and masculine energy, right? And so, not to toot my own horn, but honestly, I feel like I'm in a really good spot right now as far as with my relationship, with where we're living, with how the business is going. There are always areas where things could be better, but when I really take a step back and look at it all, honestly, I'm a lucky lady. I am a lucky lady, and the reality is I know that this is possible for all of you as well. And so genuinely, the reason that I created this is because I know that this is possible for all of you to have a life that is soft, thriving. You feel good about yourself, you feel good in your body, you love how things are going outside of you. This is so possible, and the sad part to me is that a lot of people don't think it is. When we say women can have it all, some people might even say, well, I don't really want it all. And then it's like, well, what does that mean when you say you don't want it all, right? Because wanting it all too is very different from person to person. But when I say want it all, I think about, okay, you want a loving relationship, right? If you're in a career, you want this to be something that you feel content in, you feel satisfied, it's not running you into the ground. You have good relationships with your family, with friends, you have hobbies, you're connected to something bigger than yourself. That to me is what having it all looks like. And so if you don't want to have it all, that's fine, but this probably won't be the space for you, right? Because it's not like we're looking for, a big jumbo jet, private planes, all this. And you could have that too. Look, if that were to fall into my lap, or if I were to receive that, I would say yes, And I want all of you to also be able to be in a space where if that were to come to you and you wanted that, it's like, I could feel safe to receive that, But again, having it all doesn't have to be this big thing, Having it all can be these simple pleasures of life, but that really are the big things when you look at it, right? And so I want you to know, you can have a thriving relationship, you can have a career that lights you up. If you want kids, you want all that, you can have that, The only one stopping you genuinely is you. And for some, that is a little difficult to hear, right? But I'll hold your hand when I tell you that it's the truth. If you want it all, you can have it all. I promise. And I don't make promises lightly. So I want you to know I genuinely believe that, because honestly, I feel like I do. I enjoy the work that I do, my therapy business, so much so I'm excited to create this coaching business now to spread the word more, to people who aren't just in Texas. I love my partner. We're getting married this year, super exciting there. I have good relationships with family and friends. Like, I feel very lucky. So that's why I made this, and I'm so excited to see all of you lucky ladies joining this journey and realizing just how good life can get, right? Because I want you to know that if you're not in a good space right now, it can get so much better, and we're going to work through all the feminine energetics, all the practical strategies of this, because genuinely it can and it will get so much better. So I'm so excited to bring y'all along this journey. If I feel a little nervous on here, it's because I am, right? Because this is my first big video. But, you gotta start somewhere, and this is me starting right now, and hopefully touching a lot of people who need to hear it, right? So I can't wait to be on this journey with y'all, and thank you for trusting me enough to be here, and we'll talk soon. See ya.